Welcome to Crimson Guitars, welcome to my home studio, welcome to my entry into the Great Guitar Build-Off Invitational Competition. It has begun, and I've got 2 weeks to complete this because, you know what, I like a challenge. Burn it. Haha, yay! I have got an uncut kit, albeit one with a carved neck this time, to save me a little bit of time. I specifically asked for one without frets so that I could do some sort of a custom inlay. So, custom inlay incoming. I've got this. I specified a flame maple top, a flame maple back. I also specified that they would not be adhered to the body because, well, I had an idea, and I don't actually have time to make that idea, so I've had about 40 other ideas, and I am going to make a guitar that doesn't have a body. Or at the very least, it's going to have a top and a back. This whole central section is pretty much superfluous and not required. Should be fun? It's going to be fun. Anyhow, let us design away. Now, the Great Guitar Build-Off this is going to be, this is a yearly competition. I'm sure you all know about this at this stage. We have got the Invitational series where myself and a bunch of YouTubers compete for the public vote as to the best of the bunch, I suppose. We all build something, the videos go live, you guys vote at greatguitarbuildoff.com and tell us who won. Part of the process as well is going to be a live stream of all of the instruments being built for the Invitational series being auctioned off to you guys. So this guitar and everything else being built by the Invitational guys can be yours. The money raised from that goes to the Great Guitar Build-Off in part, which is all about promoting guitar building, but getting kits and tools and enabling people who can't necessarily afford to build guitars into this fantastic hobby that we love and adore. And the more people building the guitars, the better. And the other half of the monies involved goes to a charity of the builder's choice. Now, obviously, in my case, 100% of the revenue generated by this guitar is going to go to the Great Guitar Build-Off. And yeah, I hope that it's going to be just gazillions of dollars. Now, the other half of this competition is the real competition, and that is all of you who are competing for a judged event, and there are around about 400 people in the competition as it stands. You've got scratch builds, you've got kit builds, and frankly, there are a load of guitars being built by private individuals that look cooler and seem to be better made than many things I have made. And they're giving me a run for my money. It's so fun watching, and I am absolutely loving it. That competition is running alongside. Check out greatguitarbuildoff.com for all of this jazz. And in the comments below, let me know what you think. Now, on with my build. On with my build. Pencils at the ready. I'm thinking retro futuristic atom punk, diesel punk kind of a thing here. My long-term goal, I'm working towards building guitars with less and less material, thus making them more and more sustainable. Let's see. Now, the plan with this is to make an instrument that is both interesting, unique, and attractive, but also something that I hope that somebody would want to buy, because the whole point is that we're raising money for a good, if not a great, cause. So I don't want to be too far out with the outline of the instrument. But I can't not do interesting things. I can't not push myself. So, well, let's see what happens. I think I might have got it right the first time. And that's quite long. That feels a little bit weird, doesn't it? Fairly long. I'm just utilizing the material as much as possible. Feels weird. Maybe it needs to be more of an offset. It's the lower bout. I'm not happy yet with that lower bout. It takes stepping back and looking at the instrument from a distance and in playing positions, etc., to really get it. And this is one of the reasons why I like drawing directly onto the material. I have designed things in CAD before, but it's just not me. I'm not sure if that bit there just looks too fat. We've got an accurate. It's the same distance. The edge is the same distance away from the center line as the opposite side. It just looks a little bit pendulous, shall we say. I'm not sure. I am so not sure. That's that's a strange shape for a guitar. No, I'm not happy with that diving in there like that. Giving the good S-bend there, that might be it. What do you think? I think I'm going to stop for lunch and come back with a fresh mind. I'm back. That is it. That's it. Ah, okay. Maybe even a bit. Okay. Maybe even a bit more. When will it end? That's it. There may be a few small changes. I am putting this guitar into production. This is I'm happy about this. If you want one, let me know. It won't be exactly this. It'll be this shape. The build technique will take some prototyping, I'm sure. Oh yeah. Okay, I really think this is here. I said all of that and then went and edited it a little bit more, of course. So we've made the body just a little bit shorter, and we've gone back to slightly pointier corners at the bottom part. But I think that there is my guitar. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I take it back. I am not doing a retro futuristic steampunk. I said future punk, didn't I? I'm not doing that. This has turned out to be a little bit more interesting to me than that. I'm going to pursue that idea in a later video series. Okay, I want binding. I want a modern looking, with classic vibes guitar that all of you are going to want to buy. So let's do that then. There's going to be a couple of layers to this guitar. So the binding is going to start here and go all the way around to there, and then we'll have another section going all the way around the outside. Something like that. Only done well. Kind of. The real question though is how am I going to put this together? My thought is I would like to get rid of the body. I'd like to get rid of as much material as humanly possible. I like the way that I built Nebula, which is essentially acoustic. I like the way I want to use the construction method that I used on the 2020 build on a full range of production guitars, including this one. Or is there something else that can be done? Is there even more to do? I don't rightly know. Let's assume we're doing the 2020 style of construction then, okay? Because that's, what the plan is. That guitar was an Explorer style. It's flashed up on the screen. It's beautiful. It's a fantastic instrument. Go back and watch the series if you haven't watched it yet. Really, I really like that guitar. But it was all straight lines. This has curves. Does it need curves? Does it need sides at all? Not really. Not really at all. These two areas are going to be bent down to open up sound ports, access to the, I hope, side-mounted control knobs, half hidden. That's going to be really sexy. So I could have a central section and then a couple of pieces on either side of the neck pocket, creating the neck pocket. And this is where the fun begins. Truly, I don't know what to do here. I mean, that's an option. I could easily bend a piece that goes there, but I want that to be sound holes. So nothing from here to there. Maybe one piece from there to here, potentially. And then really, I really don't know. Yeah, okay. See, this is just adding too much material. Too much material. That's just not. Maybe. Enough thinking. Time for doing. I may well regret this. I very well may regret this. But I'm after building a unique guitar here. I don't want to build something boring. Yeah. Let's not be boring. Okay. I'm going with a variation on the original idea. This may not make it into the production guitar. But we'll see. We will see. All right. I'm going to cut the basic shape out here. I am fully aware that I'm then going to have to reduce it by the width of the binding, which is 4.7 millimeters, I think. But I want to get the final shape, and I want to draw around it so that I have a record, and we will then do other things. I hope sorting this out clears my mind somewhat. Alrighty. I'm really gonna like this guitar. Yeah. What I have in mind yet? On the 2020, it was multiple pieces. That should not be. It's a smaller body than I thought it was. For some reason, being on that giant rectangular block made it feel huge. That's acceptable. That's properly acceptable. Now, I completely didn't think through the side-mounted pots. It's just not going to work. That's just too close, and there isn't enough flex there. There just isn't. So that's a pity. But it's not a problem. Let's drill some holes. 6 millimeters? So much thinking today. I don't like thinking. This is my binding. That's a bit okay. What do you think? I think that's all right. What are we doing control knob-wise? Gonna have to be there and there, maybe? I am going to, on the oscillating spindle belt sander machine of beautifulness by Triton, the TSPST 450, which I will never know the name of, I'm going to get to my outline so that I've got a nice shape I like. I'm then going to mark out where the binding is and come back to the machine and fine sand it down. I suppose I could make a template, but I'm not using routers. I'm doing this as a one-off thing. So there. Put on some tunes and be done. Okay, so marking gauge was one thing. That's a little bit too big to get inside the corners, isn't it? What am I doing? Like that. That's not so bad though, is it? So. Nice. So I'm going to, using this, cut a much more delicate line on the internal section than I would on the bandsaw, for sure. On the production version, this will all be done on the CNC, of course. Right, so in these internal areas, I'm gonna have to use a file. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use files to clean it all up. Small ones. Okay, this is gonna be so cool. I have a lot more to do. I've sanded just one of these cutaway sound hole kind of things, and sanded, filed carefully. I'm gonna call it a day. The binding, not a day for you, I'm calling it a day for me. Camera's way off. Go on there, camera. All right. The binding is going to go on. So, yeah. I think that's the way we're going to work things. Shall we get on with the binding then? Before I do the binding, I just need to sort out these edges or corners. That's how to do it. Ish. Okay. So what I've got here is the middle section where I can't apply the glue while it is like this and then tape it down. I'm going to use the super thin Starbond Superglue, and it's wicking glue. So the pieces are together. I'm going to put it along on top and bottom, and it'll seep in and do its job. It's going to be interesting cleaning up the masking tape after that fact. This section though, I can do it as it is supposed to be done. So fingers crossed this goes smoothly. I have tried with acetone, which is the other option, but this particular binding does not melt with acetone. I wonder what else I've got. Okay, so the superglue is the way forward. I'm going to use some medium viscosity Starbond Superglue, offers etc. in the description below, and probably actually some of the wicking stuff. Now, I don't want to inhibit my ability to stain this top at a later date. Several things. One, it's a little bit thicker than the binding itself, which is fine. So I'm putting the back of the binding at the rear of the guitar, and I'm going to have some material to sand off the front, which is going to be good. I'm going to, well, essentially apply superglue from the rear, and then gently some of the super thin wicking glue from the front, and the whole thing should end up nice and solid without gluing that section to the binding, which is something that I obviously want to avoid. You don't want super glue in your eyes. Trust me. Yeah, that's the way forward. Okay. Now, so put the tape on, just make sure there's no gaps and no movement, and move on. The external section is going to be so much easier. I like it easy. Don't you like easy? Yes. Okay, fine. Onwards. Let's do the difficult bit first. Haha. Okay, so I just need to glue in that section there. So it's just a case of, yeah, I'm going in from the back. That will do nicely. I might need to add a little bit of the, I will need to use some of the wicking super glue from the front, but I'll do that a little later when I can see what's happening. Nice, okay. All right, well that's the process. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put glue in the slot, put the white one in, get glue on the gluing surface of the white binding, and then slide the black in, thus spreading the glue nice and evenly, but not getting it all over the place. This is uncomfortable. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Starbond. This stuff is incredible. This is the medium viscosity one I use the most. I just need to wedge that in. Yeah, I didn't want to have wedges going in this area because I really don't want to snap it off. Okay. It's when you snap that together that you get super glue in your eyes, and it just sucks. Fantastic. Accelerator, and we ship the Starbond accelerator as well because it's not in a compressed canister, which is absolutely awesome. But let's do around the outside then. Is that long enough to go all the way around? If so, only just. Let's have a look. Yep. We're fine. So the binding process is relatively scary in abstract, but practice it a little bit and it's actually not that bad. Unless you're doing it inside of a gap like that and you have to learn how to do it all over again. That is. Okay. Okay then. I would very much appreciate it if you would let me know what you think of what you've seen so far. This is a different take on a guitar build. It's not what you're used to seeing from me. Over the last couple of years, I have done some increasingly insane things, and I will do in this build too. But I'm going for a little bit more of a traditional look. And yeah. Comments? I am covered in superglue. My guitar, as it currently is covered in superglue and masking tape, but I'm properly excited about where we're going to be. Oh, by the way, do not forget that this is an actual competition. The final instrument is going to be available for auction at the end of it, as will be the case with all of the other entrants into the invitational part of this competition. And there is going to be a vote, a public vote. You guys are entirely in control over who wins this. Please let it be me. And, well, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the end. But the most important thing is that concurrently, the main competition is running, and there are 400 or so people currently competing against each other for a major guitar building prize. There are hundreds and hundreds of videos and thousands of hours of awesome lutherie to watch. And if you haven't yet, please go and check it out. Go to greatguitarbuildoff.com for links and lists and just all sorts of good stuff. You really do. I'm realizing that I should have drawn around this shape before I added the binding. There we go. That's not stuck together. That's fantastic. On a normal guitar, I suspect that you wouldn't be happy if you had a piece flapping in the wind like that. Gotcha. We're good. Yeah. There's a lot of tidying up to do now. So here's the concept. Those are going to end up being like so, and giving a carved top feel and a multi-top feel to something that is decidedly not. It's time for that most useful of things, the masking tape and superglue trick. Of course. Starbond accelerator just makes everything kick off faster, and in not very long I have something that I can work on. well, like 4 or 5 minutes and we're done. It's pretty awesome. Just tidy it up a little bit. Okay. Well, all things considered, I am incredibly excited. I am still incredibly excited about this guitar. And I need to make the back, or the rest of the body, of course. But I also need to do an inlay of some sort. Yeah. Binding. The fretboard needs binding too. Now if I do that, I would have to bind the headstock as well, and this is a flat headstock, which wouldn't look that great. So I'm not going to have the same multiply binding. I might bind it with black, perhaps. Anyhow, I'm going to call it an evening and go and think about designs. We will reconvene. Click like, subscribe. Remember, this is going to be sold at auction, this very guitar, to raise money for Great Guitar Build-Off. All of the other entrants into the GGBO, Invitational at the very least, all of these guitars are going to be auctioned off, and there is some seriously incredible stuff from the other competitors, a list of whom is showing up here. Check out greatguitarbuildoff.com for what we are building here. But most importantly, turn off your computer. Go and make some sawdust. I want to see more guitars. More guitars! Oh, this camera's still going. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.